Hi. So in this video, we're going to be exploring the decision making constructs. All right. So in C we have if else and switch case. All right, and we have similar coding techniques here in MATLAB as well. All right. So the concepts are the same. So whatever we learn in C applies here. Only thing the syntax and the way we write the code will be a bit different. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to be asking the user, all right, to enter some number, all right, and from that we're going to execute the if else statement. All right, now so when you're going to have a sequence of statements, all right, in the code, it is not advisable to try and do it in the command window, because in the command window you execute every line one by one. All right, but when you already have a block of code that you want to execute, what you must do is you must create a new what we call scripting file. All right, so over here what you have is, if you click on the plus icon at the bottom, you have a few options. Okay, script, live script, function, live function, and so on. All right, what you can use is script or live script. Okay, what's the difference between script and live script? The difference is, in the script, okay, you will run it and any output will be generated in the command window. All right, whereas in a live script, it is a continuous file where the output will be generated, okay, together, okay, as part of one complete workspace, all right, which you can actually export as a file later on as well. Okay, so it's a very good way, all right, if let's say you are creating some learning material and so on, to use live script. Okay, but for now I'm just going to use the basic script, okay, because that is the most easiest, and most engineers are comfortable with just using a script, okay, to write the code. Okay, so I'm going to close all of these older files that I have. Okay, now when you create a script file in MATLAB, you need to save it, all right, and the name that you use will also be the name that is used to execute the script, all right, the name of the file. Okay, so for example here I'm going to save as, all right, I'm going to save it as, okay, if else if, okay, if else if .m. all right, and the name is significant because later when I want to run this code, I need to use the name. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to ask the user to enter an input. All right, so if you remember, in C programming we have the cin, all right, to capture input from the user. In MATLAB we have another way of doing it. You must use the built-in function called input. All right, okay, so what we need to say is input, and we are giving a prompt. All right, so in C programming, what we do, we have a cout first. We tell the user enter a number or enter a month or something like that, you know, telling the user what to do. And then after the cout is the cin, where we capture the input to the variable. In MATLAB, the output and the input, the prompt telling the user what we want and capturing it are all on the same line. Okay, so I'm going to show you the second half, which is the prompt. All right, so we're going to say enter a number, all right, and the value that is captured must be assigned to a variable, all right, and that variable name is what we put in front, so we can call it, for example, num. Okay, so this line is effectively sort of combining cout and cin together. Okay, so in C programming we will have a cout to say enter a number, and subsequently we will say cin into num. All right, that is what we will do in C programming, in C++. In MATLAB we are combining both of them into a single statement, where on the right hand side of the equal sign is input followed by the prompt, all right, telling the user what we want, and whatever is captured by the user is now assigned to the left hand side variable num. Okay, so once I execute this statement later on, okay, I would have ask the user to enter a number, and I would have captured it. Alright, now what I want to do is I want to use that, okay, to just do some if-else statement. Okay, to do some if-else statement. Alright, so I can do a simple test, for example, to say if num is greater than 50. Okay, so if you want, you can put bracket. If you don't want, you don't need to put bracket. Okay, but you know, in C we are used to putting brackets. Okay, so I will just follow that style, the same style over here. Now, how do I print something out on the screen? I use fprintf. Okay, fprintf is, so printf is used in C. Okay, in C++ we use cout. In C we use printf. In MATLAB we use fprintf. Okay, and then we put the text that we want. Okay, number is greater than 50. Okay, and then we can say else fprintf number is smaller than 50. Okay, and then you need to have a end. Alright, so let's recap what this code is doing. We are going to prompt the user to enter a number. Okay, we're going to capture that and put it into this variable num, and then we're going to compare. So this if else is the same as in C. Okay, so we are comparing whether num is greater than 50. If it's greater than 50, I will print this first statement. Okay, if it is smaller than 50, I'll print the next statement. Okay, in C program, when we have an if and else, we have opening and curly braces. Here we don't have opening and curly braces. Alright, so everything that is after the if, before the else is part of the if block. After the else and before the end is part of the end block. Alright, so that is the difference in the syntax. Okay, so let me save it. Alright, now to run this code, okay, I can click on the run. Alright, but you can also type the function name. Okay, sorry, not the function name, the file name. So the file name is if else if. Okay, so in the command window, I just need to type the file name here, and once I type the file name, it will actually execute. So as you can see down here, it is prompting me to enter a number, which is the prompt given here. And let's say I key in a number 52. It tells me number is greater than 50. Alright, so if I run it one more time, okay, and if I say, for example, 24, you will say number is smaller than 50. Okay, now of course this is correct. Alright, but what if I key in exactly 50? Okay, if I key in exactly 50, okay, so let me run it one more time. If I key in exactly 50, then it will say number is smaller than 50 because it doesn't satisfy the first condition, so it automatically executes the else. But 50 is not smaller than 50, 50 is exactly 50, correct? So in order to improve this code, alright, and fix this, what we can do is we can have what we call if else if sequence of statements. Okay, so we can say if num is greater than 50, then I print this statement, else if num is smaller than 50, then I print the next statement, else, then I say printf number is exactly 50. Alright, so basically what we are doing here, we are prompting the user to enter a number, and first I'm checking whether the number is greater than 50, else if number is smaller than 50. So if I do not satisfy the first two conditions, then the only possible option is the number is exactly 50. Correct? Okay, so let me save this. Okay, so I'm going to clear the command window first just to make it clean. Alright, so instead of running the script file from the command window, I'm going to click on the run button here. Okay, so if I click on the run button, it will execute the currently open script file. Alright, so enter a number. So let's try it again. So 54, number is greater than 50, great, run again, okay, 34, number is smaller than 50, and run it one more time, okay, with 50, and number is exactly 50. Alright, so this is basically how you can use if-else-if statements in a MATLAB script. Okay, so in this video we have covered a few different things. Firstly, the idea of a script file, which is a .m file. Alright, and the important thing is the name of the file, okay, is important if you are going to launch the script from the command window. Alright, so that's the first thing that we have learned. The second thing is, how do I capture an input from the user? I must use the input keyword followed by the prompt, and whatever that the user enters will be assigned to the variable on the left hand side of the equal sign. Alright, and then this if else is again very similar to our C. Alright, the same concept of how C works is exactly how MATLAB works. I will check for the condition one by one until I satisfy one of the conditions. Alright, if I do not satisfy any of the conditions, then it will come to the last else and execute that condition. Alright, so I hope that these concepts are now clear. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.